Welcome to Horror News Radio for August 8th, 2022. Tonight, we have casting news for Haunted Mansion and The Exorcist, along with trailer news for The Harbinger and Glorious. Hi, I am your host, Doc Rotten, and this is H&R, the official Gruesome Magazine Horror News Podcast. Back with me again this week is the scariest, goriest, bloodiest co-host on the net, and that's Dave Dreher, lead news writer at Gruesome Magazine. Dave, how are you doing?
Doc, it's news time, Doc.
It's
our favorite time of the week. It's news time.
It is news time. Yes, we have plenty of news. Sad news that I always hate to have to bring along, but we definitely need to pay our respects. And then we also have a lot of casting news and a couple trailers. This is going to be interesting to discuss. So, of course, we hope you enjoy this and other H&R on the site. Let us know what you think. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with a friend. It'll do us wonders.
Tell the world.
Leave us some comments. We'd love to hear what you think. All right, let's get into things. Up first, of course, is rest in peace, Clu Gulager, who passed away at the age of 93. Of course, horror fans remember him most fondly from Return of the Living Dead from 1985. But in 1985, he also did another horror film, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, A Freddy's Revenge. But he did tons of other films. He had a career that lasted 7 years, and he had 165 credits. Of course, later in his career, he would do a variety of low-budget horror films. Let's put it this way. But he also was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so let's give him some cred, right?
Yep. That was his last screen performance, I believe, was it not?
I believe so.
I think it is. Yeah.
Of course, his son is a director as well. He did the Feast trilogy, and I believe he also did Piranha 3 Double D, right? I believe he directed that.
I don't know. Why in my mind am I thinking Alexander Aja did Piranha?
He did Piranha.
He did the original Piranha?
Okay. But not Double D. Double D was a sequel to the 3D. Let's don't get into that. But anyway.
Oh, good Lord. I know. I knew he had something to do with one. So, yeah, John Gulager may have done 3 Double D. I don't know. I'm going to take your word for it, Doc.
And, of course, early in his career, he did a lot of Westerns and TV. The Killer's Last Picture Show. He was in The Killer Who Wouldn't Die. A variety of TV shows. It's amazing career.
And he was a fan favorite for sure when he would do conventions and stuff. I mean, he's just one of those people. Return of the Living Dead obviously is what most people know him from. Yes. It will probably end up being his legacy film, if you will.
Well, even Deadline, who was the source of the news, of course, puts that in the headline. That's the film that spotlights him, and he has a career that is much larger than that. But for us fans, that's definitely where it goes.
That's the one.
Rest in peace, sir.
We can never forget him battling the exploding bird in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, though.
Well, there is that. Yes. All right, let's move on with other news. We have some news about some upcoming films. Production, sir, is set to start on Insidious 5. I know we've all been waiting for this. Well, at least I have. Directed by Patrick Wilson, the star of the films. It is scheduled to hit theaters from Sony Pictures Screen Gems on July 7th, 2023. So about a year from now. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, Ty Simpkins are set to return. New cast members include Sinclair Daniel, Peter Dager, and Hiam Abbass. Hiam Abbass is also in the 2022 Hellraiser film. If it comes out this year, then it'll be the 2023 Hellraiser film, but it is completed. So what do you think of this? I'm a fan of Insidious, so this is great news.
Yeah.
For me.
I think the big, I am, but I keep getting this franchise confused with James Wan's other franchise. Because there's Insidious, and what's the other one? The other one is the... Come on, what's the other franchise?
I get confused with that as well.
I keep getting them confused. So I'm not sure.
And that's just because he directed the first one, and Patrick Wilson is the star of both of them. So
yeah. It gets confusing. But I think the big takeaway here is Patrick Wilson making his directorial debut. with this, which I think is great. What is James Wan's involvement? Does he have any? Is he producing?
Well, he would be producing if anything, but The Conjuring is the other films you were thinking of. But
Conjuring.
I was going to let it click in your head, but
no, it wasn't. I'd already moved on because I knew I was. But yeah, I do enjoy the Insidious films. I think they're good. I always remember the original one, that frickin' red-faced thing that appears behind his. Still scares the shit out of me. Yes, but I'm not going to lie. I've kind of lost track. I don't think I even seen Insidious: The Last Key.
Which was the last key, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I even seen that one because that one was like more Lin Shaye.
It was definitely Lin Shaye, yeah,
right?
Yeah, didn't have much of the original cast at all. But yeah, I believe I saw news today that's posted after the Deadline article that I'm referencing for this news article, but I believe she is returning as well in some capacity.
Great. So. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to have to reacquaint myself with this franchise before this comes out, but I'm all for it.
This is the one with the further. They go into the further.
That's right.
Here's the synopsis. Set 10 years after the end of Insidious 2, Josh Lambert, that's Patrick Wilson, and his heads east to drop his son, Dalton, Ty Simpkins, off at an idyllic, ivy-covered university. However, Dalton's college dream becomes a nightmare when the repressed demons of his past suddenly return to haunt them both. So that sounds good.
There we go. Fun. So this is going to be another one of those requels type of things. We're going to ignore the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapters.
Well, this is the 5th chapter, so yeah. Yeah, it's going to follow directly after the second one, and not
okay. So we're playing that game with this one as well, huh?
Yes. Yep. Okay. 3rd and 4th one. You got me so confused. All right, but I'm all set for more Insidious, and I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm just gonna have to reacquaint myself with the storyline. That's all.
All right. Next up is some casting news. Okay, I'm a Disney fan. And of course, my favorite ride at Disney is the Haunted Mansion. I really cannot find myself sitting through the Haunted Mansion movie we got shortly after Pirates did so well. That is, I wanted to love that movie, but it just really is hard to watch.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It wasn't that great when it came out, and it has not aged well. But
because that was the Eddie Murphy one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We are getting a new one. Disney is doing another shot at it. It's going to be directed by Justin Simeon, who did the Bad Hair movie. I don't know if you remember that. We loved that.
I do remember Bad Hair. Yes, I enjoyed that.
Yes. The cast includes Rosario Dawson, Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, and Tiffany Haddish. So it's a great cast.
Good cast. Yeah.
And it is set to open March 10th, 2023. So next year is looking good already. Now, what we got news of are 2 additional cast members have been added, and they are both, well, for me, they're both fantastic. For others, one is really fantastic. The other, maybe not so much. I think, Dave, the one you agree with me is Jamie Lee Curtis is going to portray Madame Leota, and I like that.
She can do no wrong.
But tell me, what do you think of Jared Leto playing the Hatbox Ghost?
I don't know what I think of it, to be quite frankly. Again, I'm not a super fan of the ride like you. So, what is the Hatbox Ghost?
Well,
exactly.
It's actually only in Disneyland, the one in Disneyland. It's not at Disney World, and it's the ghost that has a hat box, and his head is in the hat box. It goes from his head down to the hat box and back. So he's called.
So he's going to play a dismembered head.
He's one of the 999 ghosts. Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's. I know Morbius was a big scar on his career, but the man's a fine actor. I think he can play a headless, disembodied ghost.
I think he can do that. Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm okay with that.
What are you? I don't know, Dave. Are you a fan of Haunted Mansion and Disney?
I went through it one time, and I was probably 12 years old. I have very little memory of it, other than there being an elevator.
Yes,
but like I said, I was very young when I went. We were not one of those families who regularly went to Disney. I've been to both Disneyland and Disney World.
Oh, well, very good.
But one time a piece, and both times very early in life. So I'm not one of these ones who goes down every year and revisits it. So my exposure is limited at best.
Yeah, the first time I rode it I was also very young, and they actually had tickets, and it was called an e-ticket for the better rides.
I remember the e-tickets. Yes, I remember that. Yes,
but later when I had kids myself, I lived in Florida at the time, so we got the annual passes, and we would spend every payday weekend. We would go to Disney and spend the weekend. It seemed that way. It wasn't quite that, but I have ridden this ride so many times. I love it.
The question would be then, how do you feel about
I'm ecstatic. I love him, even the bad roles that people say. I even like his Joker. I know that's a thing that not many people say, but
I thought he was fine as a Joker as well. But again, I'm not big into the DC world, but I thought he portrayed him fine. So,
all right. Well, even though this is Disney, it's still something we are definitely going to cover. So we'll look for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Jamie Lee Curtis's involvement automatically puts me in, and I'm a big Rosario Dawson fan as well. So
yeah. So look for us to review it March 10th, 2023. All right, here's another. We're doing two remakes here. Another remake. Now this one's a little more controversial. Blumhouse, of course, along with Universal Films, is remaking The Exorcist. Actually, they're making a trilogy, and that's, I'm all aboard. But you know me, I'm easy to please. I'm an easy target. Are you looking forward to an Exorcist remake, or in this case, it's more of a sequel-ish thing? They're doing the same thing here that they did with Halloween.
Right. Yeah, they're going to ignore the films after and give us a direct sequel to the original. Correct?
Yep.
Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
how I read it.
Ellen Bernstein is reprising her role as Chris McNeil, the mother.
So do we know who's playing Regan? Do we know?
I don't know if Regan's going to be a part of it.
How can you have a direct sequel without Regan being a part of it?
I don't know.
I'm very confused.
But the only other cast member that we know at the time, except for the news that we're talking about today, is Leslie Odom Jr. Today, more casting news is Ann Dowd is joining the cast. Now, Ann Dowd is acting gold. She is wonderful. She's in everything. If you've seen a movie, she's in it. No, she's in a lot of stuff, and she is wonderful in everything. I think most people remember her from Handmaid's Tale. I think that's probably the biggest thing she's been in, because she's so great in that and has won awards. But of course, for horror fans, Hereditary, well, at least me, I know you don't like Hereditary, but she was in Hereditary. She was the very scary woman that was at the end of the movie. and throughout the movie,
I watched that movie one time and one time only. The only scene I remember is the girl getting her head ripped off by the foam bowl.
But that wasn't her. She was somebody else. But anyway, she's a wonderful actress and I think is a great addition to the film. I think it actually gives it some pedigree.
Well, that's good. I don't know how I feel, and nothing against either of these gentlemen. But David Gordon Green and Danny McBride teaming up again to remake a classic from our childhood is a little disturbing to me, and I don't know why.
Well, obviously it's going to be a sequel because it has Ellen Bernstein, but like you said, it's definitely taking the Halloween route. And the first Halloween we loved. The second one we were iffy about, although I think you liked it better than most of us on the show.
I think I did. Yeah, but I'm a big Michael Myers and Mark.
Yeah, you're the easy mark on this one, right?
Yeah, I really am. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Yeah. But I mean, it's going to happen regardless. So we might as well just hold on and see where it goes, right? I mean,
well, my excitement might rise or dwindle depending on how good Halloween Ends is. If they knock it out of the park with Halloween Ends, I'm going to be all about it. But they did a TV show recently, which you would have thought, what? They're doing an Exorcist TV show. And it originally wasn't going to have anything to do with the movie. And then we found out, oh, yes, it is. And it was really well done. And
yeah, you really loved that. I remember you loved that.
Show,
yeah, you loved that TV show. I'm not big, as you know. I'm not big into the whole possession films thing. So I never watched the TV show, quite frankly, because it scares me.
Watched. Well, that's what horror movies are for. All right, so I know it's coming out. They're aiming for, I believe 2023, but it might be 2024 by the time everything gets said and done. I think October is when they're doing these films. So whenever it comes out, or whenever the date is officially announced, we'll certainly share that, and of course we'll review it when it comes out. Next on our list, Dave, is a nuclear zombie apocalypse feature from director Josh Monkarsh. There you go. I mean, it kind of had me at zombie apocalypse, nuclear
zombie apocalypse.
But it's part of the casting that we have news from over at Variety that really sold it for me. It's got one of my favorite actresses of all time. But in addition to that person who I have not yet named, Oliver Cooper and Chris Parnell are coming. Oliver Cooper is from a show called Project X. Chris Parnell is from 30 Rock. I think many people will recognize them. But the cast member that I'm most excited about, and I believe, sir, you are too, is Pam Grier.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprising announcement, quite frankly. I mean, how old is Miss Grier these days?
I do not know. I do not know.
She's been around for a while.
Yes.
But you can't have too much Pam Grier. So I think it's wonderful casting. And again, this is sounds like a show that I would maybe have passing interest in, but now Pam Grier's involvement makes it a must watch for me. So good move on their part. I think this is an indie film, correct?
It is an independent film.
Studio.
Yeah, it's an indie film. I believe, if I'm doing my math correct, she's 72 or 73. So.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yep.
Do we still be running away from zombies at that age?
Yeah.
I'm reading the article here now, and it appears that production is actually set to wrap. Like as we're discussing, it says wraps in early August, so we could be seeing this one early next year.
Yep, and of course, when that happens, we'll be covering it because
we will be covering it. Pam Grier makes it an instant on our radar.
Yep. All right, so let's talk some trailers, shall we?
I actually like this first trailer for the Harbinger. I think is pretty freaking scary, dude.
I think it is too. It's coming from Screen Media. It says Daniel and Teresa Snyder moved their troubled young daughter Rosalie to a quaint Midwestern town. Soon after they arrive, neighbors begin to die. Kind of had me there. There's more to it, but the visuals here are pretty frightening. This looks good.
They're kind of jolted. There's some of them are kind of jolting, and then we get this demon creature at the end. It looks pretty damn good.
Yep.
But evil possessed kids, you can't really go wrong, right?
You can't go wrong. And well, you don't like possession movies, though, right? So,
but they're creepy. Yep. That was great. That dude floating across. That was awesome.
Yes.
I love the look of that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward.
There was one of these quick scenes that kind of gave me a phantasm vibe for some reason. The first time I watched this trailer, but I don't see it now. It looked like they were in a mortuary or something.
Yes. And of course, this is where it gets the lighting. There's your red lighting that you don't like.
Yeah.
But look at that. Look at that. Isn't that great?
That's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
That's looking good. Right there, I got phantasm vibes for that one. That one quick 2-second thing.
So I
mean, this looks good.
Definitely looking forward to this.
This trailer, man, just keeps you on edge the entire time you're watching it because they cut it so quick. You're like,
It does definitely. It's coming our way September 2nd. So about a month away. It's coming from Screen Media Films. We will definitely be covering it on Gruesome Magazine.
I'll watch it.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch it.
We already have it on our list. It's going to happen. Well, we have another one, Dave, and this one is absolutely bonkers. I think you will agree. It is a film called...
I've actually already seen this movie, and yes, this is interesting.
It's a film called Glorious, and it is streaming on Shudder August 18th. So let's take a look at this one, shall we? It's got a great cast. Ryan Cautain from True Blood. I think most people remember, of course, J.K. Simmons. You'll hear his voice in a little bit. And it's directed by Rebecca McKendry. I believe I have her name right.
Yep.
Who many horror fans will know from various podcasts and Fangoria and other written articles. So, and
she is literally a professor of horror.
She is literally, right?
She is. She has her PhD in horror.
But of course, this film is making public restrooms even more frightening than they already are, as you will find out in this. And you say that, does the trailer do the film justice, or does it still have a lot of
it does. Again, we'll get into our review of this down the pike, but this is a fucked up movie, man.
There you go.
Yeah, this movie is just crazy. So while the trailer, having seen the film, the trailer makes much more sense than for those of you who are watching this with not seeing it. But at the same time, it just scratches the surface of the crazy. So it's good, and J.K. Simmons is great as just this voice. It's you really can't talk about it without rooting it, so I'm going to shut up. But this one should be on everyone's to watch list.
Well, it's going to be easy to watch. It's coming on Shudder August 18th, and we're going to review it. We love our Shudder films, and we're very grateful for them. And they pick great films. They have a great track record, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and there's such a dark sense of humor in this thing too. I mean, it's smart and it's funny and it's fucked up and it's creepy. It's perfect. It's just a mess, but in all the right ways.
I love it. All right. Well, that's our news for tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to reach 5,000. Help us do it. And of course, we'd love to hear your comments. Let us know what you think of the trailers. Are you looking forward to these films? Are you looking forward to an Exorcist sequel, reboot, requel, whatever they're doing?
Yes.
And of course, we just want to hear your thoughts. Dave, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Always enjoy it. Until next week, my friend.
Yes, thank you. And good night.
Good night.